Today is the 11th of October, and we've been invited to tour SoFi Stadium. All the birds are lined up in a line for us. And over here is the stadium itself. Getting ready to walk in and see what it's like. This is the entry. And over here on the left must be the stadium. Even the chicken is big here at SoFi.
At first, yeah, so she works with me, and then I work on the PR team that supports Verizon. So we do like a lot of campaigns out there for like network upgrades and stuff. So that's why I'm really self to do like little tours during the day. Oh, so yeah, the Rams or SoFi are having a little event right now too. I know I was thinking, I was like, no one's been. I've been here since 9 a.m. and no one's practiced. And I thought, oh. I was like, why isn't there games? We're in Beach.
About an hour.
Oh, okay.
So are you guys meeting with anything in particular? And you summon up somebody for you? Or?
I don't know about that, but no, we were intrigued. You know, it was a gracious invite.
Oh yeah, I'm glad to have you.
Really, I mean.
Hi Nelson, how are you? I'm Barry from Samsung. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's amazing, yeah. And we were just talking about they'll be lighting it up soon.
Our activities and when it all ends around
Seen the one in Atlanta.
I have two young children. I don't get a chance to wear heels at all.
Well, we're down on the field here at SoFi Stadium, getting ready to take what's called the Tech Tour. And it looks like there's a lot of tech in here.
Jason Stevens, Experiential Program Manager at Verizon, supporting this event and a lot of other customer engagements that we host as relates to educating customers on 5G and mobile edge review. So obviously here being in the Verizon Lounge, there would normally be hundreds of spectators moving about. But what we've actually done is taken over and brought in a variety of solutions and use cases really to educate our customers as well as folks like yourselves on the capabilities of 5G and MEC as it relates to enterprise solutions as well as public sector solutions. So what we're going to maybe hopefully do is just step inside and lead you guys around and kind of give you a highlight tour of some of the things we're showcasing.
Feel free to ask questions as you
Absolutely.
interact.
Yeah.
We don't want to just...
So a lot of what you see here is stuff that we brought in specifically for the evening event. But obviously we're leveraging the infrastructure, the network infrastructure that Jason's going to walk you through to really deliver a lot of these demonstrations and showcase these to folks. That's using both our macro network as well as we have some private 5G instances on site that we're also showcasing as well. But what we were just going to start with here is really all around coach-to-coach communications. You've probably seen where Verizon has entered into a multi-year partnership with the NFL. As you look at environments such as SoFi, you know, it's an immense facility, crazy technology all through this complete environment. But that also leads to a lot of things that, as a venue operator, as well as folks like the NFL, have to take certain precautions to ensure the integrity of the football game, right? So when you think about a large venue such as this, and Jason probably knows better than anyone, it's an immense amount of RF congestion. There's a variety of technologies from POS to digital signage to everything that you use to operate a large venue such as SoFi. And so what the NFL chose to do is to take a proactive approach to protect the integrity of the football game as it relates to the product that they put on the field, right? So when you think about the actual field play, that is the NFL's product, right? When they bring two teams together to compete, and what they were looking to do is to leverage Verizon's capability with private wireless to manage those on-field communications, specifically around the sideline communications for the coaching staff. So we've all seen football games, we've all seen the coaches on the sideline with their headsets, and essentially what they're using are these very similar belt packs, right? These are wireless belt packs that they would have clipped to them and then tethered through a headset. Now the NFL is using a special proprietary headset that they have selected for their teams and for their franchise groups to use. So we have a different headset here, but essentially operates just the same, right? So all the belt packs are basically segregated between Team A and Team B. So what we've done is we've installed a managed private wireless core on the field, at field level, and there are actually radios, and Jason could probably point them out better than I, probably might be around the 20 or 30 yard line that are kind of triangulating a wireless coverage on the field that are then facilitating these headsets. So what we're allowing people to do tonight is kind of experience what it's like for a coach to communicate through those. Now when you think coach to coach for the NFL, obviously talk about what's happening as it relates to the coaches communicating to one another, as well as maybe communicating to offensive staff that might be up in an observation suite or wherever they put them upstairs where they're looking down on the field. But when you think about enterprise and you think about other use cases, this can be applied to a multitude of things. When you start thinking about how you can leverage private wireless, maybe you need instant communications for people facilitating heavy machinery, or maybe for emergency responders where we can take the advantage of private wireless. We're even looking at things like push-to-talk technology that can then be layered onto the private wireless. Rambled for a bit there on coach to coach, but I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any questions as it relates to that.
Is there like a difference in terms of latency and quality across this versus your 5G systems?
Yeah, so the beauty of this, because it is a fully private wireless system, that does allow us to kind of remove any potential interferences, right, as you think about other radio type technologies. So it is a fully dedicated system that is deployed here. We are using 4G CBRS. Now, when you really think about this, for right now, this is focused on voice communications, right? So it doesn't require a lot of bandwidth or really necessarily latency issues because it's voice communication. But when we start looking at other applications like video, like other technologies, that's when you're going to really want to bring in 5G capability. So right now, for initially, what we're looking at with the NFL is all around private wireless. We're going to maybe just switch gears and show you some other things if you guys are ready. So what we're going to showcase here, when we start thinking, we talk field operations, right? But now when we start thinking venue operations, right? So the venue operators themselves, whether that be the owners of the LA Rams and the Chargers, or whether that be other franchise organizations. And it's all around what we consider 5G edge cashierless checkout, right? So people have seen different forms of frictionless retail or autonomous shopping. What Verizon's doing, which is a little unique, is we've deployed a system where it's 100% computer vision, right? So what we're doing as it relates to this is we're using the densification of cameras to basically monitor the store operations. And I'll kind of walk you through real quick. What you'll see here in this video is basically showing a very simplified shopping journey through what we consider a cashierless checkout store. And it's basically delivered in 3 easy steps. There's the point of entry or ingress, right? That could be either swiping a credit card or scanning a mobile app. That could be a gated store environment or an ungated store environment. And then you have the actual shopping experience, as you saw the individual there grabbing items off the shelf, and then essentially exiting the store, exiting the premise, right? So although it's a very simplified view of a shopping experience, you can basically see how the system is monitoring that from start to finish, right? And through those 3 easy steps. So when you think about how we are facilitating this from a 5G mobile edge compute perspective, as I mentioned, we're using video cameras similar to what you see mounted here. These are standard PTZ video cameras, right? You've seen these in a lot of environments. They're used for premise-based security and surveillance and all that kind of stuff. But we're using these really to basically do two things. One, understand the shopper's experience, right? So as you think of the store environment, imagine there was a ceiling over us here as part of the store. There would be a densification of cameras in that store environment. Half of the cameras, or approximately half, are trained on monitoring the shopper themselves, shopper behavior, how you move through the store environment, how you interface with the store and the planogram and the products. And the other set of cameras are monitoring just on the inventory levels of what's in the store. The beauty of using all computer vision, unlike other systems you may have seen in the industry, it doesn't require weighted shelves. It doesn't require identification of IoT sensors. So it gives us a far greater ability to implement this rather efficiently and quickly using just cameras. So as you see in this little topology here, we basically have our cameras, right? The cameras are standard PoE, that's power over Ethernet cameras, right? So that's basically an industry standard to be able to deploy a camera. It's its power source and its connectivity or data source at the same stage. All those cameras would then interface into a wiring closet that would be connected to what we call an aggregator that's taking all those camera feeds and then putting it into our 5G core through a fixed wireless access gateway. Once it's in the core, then we're using mobile edge compute to actually do the analytics of the video footage and get that into the AI that then starts to understand the store and how the store operates. So to give you an idea of how this looks in real life, this is actually a store that we've implemented at our corporate headquarters in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. This is actually an individual who's an employee of Verizon, just to give you an idea of what that shopping experience might look like. Now that first model I showed you was overly simplified. Right? He walked in, he grabbed one thing and walked right out. Now some cases we as shoppers, they go to a store and know exactly what we want. You go in and you grab it and you walk exactly out. But most shoppers, there's always a level of indecision. There's always a level of multitasking. It's a clunky process as we as consumers, right? So as you see this individual, as she was moving through the store, you could tell she was talking on a phone, having a conversation, looking at products on the shelves. At one point she's looking like she's exiting the store. The next moment she's coming back in. She's again looking at products, maybe looking at the nutritional values of those. And as you're looking at this depiction, you can start to see how the camera frames are changing, right? So because we have a multitude of cameras, we're able to analyze her shopping experience from almost every different type of possible angle, right? And all those camera feeds are then feeding into the AI engine. And that AI engine is then interpreting what it's seeing through the camera feeds to understand what is she doing as a consumer. Is she just looking at items? Is she taking items and putting them in her possession that she wants to purchase? Or is she just waiting around, maybe shopping or perusing around and not necessarily committing any type of transaction? And so you eventually see how she exits. And so that kind of completes your shopping experience. But what show you kind of what the AI is doing, what the AI is seeing. You saw the video footage, but this is what the AI is doing, right? So we all as human beings in this environment, imagine we're all in an autonomous store, right? It's not identifying us necessarily by face, but by body and posture, right? So what the AI is doing is each one of us have a different shape sensor, right? With different heights, with different sizes, different widths. And so what the AI is analyzing all of us, and it's starting to then associate us as individual shoppers. And that's how the system is monitoring and doing the transaction, associating items that I pick up versus items that Kyle picks up, and who's processing that transaction. And so kind of just to summarize what we're doing here, because it's 100% computer vision, it gives us a lot of different options as we talk to our customers, whether it's retrofitting an existing store, whether it's building a new store environment, specifically on computer vision, or even creating what we consider pop-up stores, right? Maybe a temporary store, it's only used for a festival or an outdoor concert or something where you want to do a quick deployable, maybe you're setting up for a day or you're setting up only for a week. And that's really the beauty of computer vision as it relates to these type of implementations, and especially when you start thinking about retrofitting existing stores. And that's what we're currently doing with a lot of different stadium operators, is retrofitting existing stores, right? Whether it be a quick grab and go or some other type of merchandise store within their environments. We're not asking them to drastically change their planogram, right? Because we can train the AI, we can train the computer vision to learn their products, learn how their store is operated and configured. It may require a few little tweaks and finishes here, and we're not asking them to do a complete rip and replace. So I rambled for a bit there on that, but I'll be happy to answer any questions or anything you might have.
Are you doing, let's say a customer has an
Access into facilities.
Real quick, this is just another example, I think, of the ecosystem that Verizon's put together with really, leading-edge partners who can take some, what you think of simple problems, they're actually pretty significant problems about access into buildings and access into events, and trying to accelerate that, but also improve the safety and the security around that, and the simplification of the administrative burden of having hundreds of employees. Maybe they can go to this part of the building, but they can't go to that part of the building. So Jeff is actually going to probably do a much better job talking about it. I'll be his Vanna White, and my face is in the system here. So, Jeff, you want to?
Yeah, sure. So thanks everybody for coming. My name is Jeff Josephson. I work for a company called Wicket. We are the partner to Verizon providing accelerated access. So accelerated access is really the idea of using your face as your credential as you move throughout any type of building. So our big start has been in sports. We've done a lot of work with Verizon in sports. So one of the first use cases we're going to show you is pairing your face with your ticket to get into a live event, right? So we've all stood in line for way too long. We've all gone through the whole mobile tickets, right? Anybody not been to an event with mobile tickets yet, right? And everybody struggles with the phone, right? We're fumbling with the phone. Even though we have good connectivity and all that stuff, it's still hard. It still slows things down. We still lack some credibility, right? I can give you my phone and you can go in and be me at the game. So this allows you to improve the fan experience, increase accountability, cut down on fraud with tickets. But then what else can we use our face for? Well, we can use it for anything that has an API that we want to get into. So if we want to provide a safer workplace, how many people work in a building that has access control? So some type of badge, swipe card, pin to get in. So what we have here is the same access control that you have in your building right now, right? An access control panel, a lock on the door. And simply by pairing this product with your existing access control platform, I present my face, the door unlocks, and then I go. Nobody here can be me. I can't leave my face at home. My kids try all the time. I can't be faked. So we have full spoof detection. So if I were to take a picture of my face, I should have done this before we got started. Take a nice pretty picture of my face. I get myself out of the viewfinder and I try to hold up a picture of my face. We actually just detected that an inanimate object, which is 2D, is in front of the screen, and that red screen actually just let me know for this demo that we sent an alert to whoever's watching the security desk that somebody tried to get in using something other than their face. The whole idea is, whether you're a fan, whether you're an employee, you now have a credential that you can carry with you through the entire experience. So as a fan, I could get in using my face as my ticket. Then when I get inside and I want to go buy something, I go over to the cashierless checkout store. We can integrate with cashierless checkout. I show my face. I paired my license to know that I'm 21 so I can buy controlled substance. I can pair my digital payment method with my face. I walk in, I grab my items, somebody validates that I'm not intoxicated, they open the 2 beers, and out I go. And my whole transaction is about 11 seconds. Ticketing, family of 4, it's about 6 seconds. So all of these things are between 4 and 20 times faster than what we're doing today. Higher level of accountability, reduced rates of underage drinking with things like just walkout stores. But really it can be your credential for everything. So imagine you work in a manufacturing facility with clean spaces. You could walk in the outside door, use your face. You could sign into your employee time clock, use your face. You can go get your PPE from a PPE dispensing machine, use your face. Now another human has not touched that clean clothing that I need to wear. I put it on, I open a door without touching anything. I go out on the manufacturing floor, and instead of there being a gate or some place that I have to sign in, simply by getting to my post, my area of supervision, a camera can see my face, and I'm there. What's the most important thing we haven't talked about yet? This is a full opt-in program. This is not facial recognition, scraping the internet, trying to figure out who you are versus who you are. This is, I'm an employee or I'm a fan, I've chosen to have a safer experience, a more enjoyable experience. I acknowledge the terms and conditions. I take my own selfie, or they help me take a selfie that I acknowledge. It gets loaded into the cloud and it stays there. That data is owned by that property owner. So whether it's the business, the stadium, whatever, they have to give me clear rules about what they're doing with it. there has to be a benefit. And then they have to talk about data retention policies, and this is all built to adhere with all of that. The other thing, and it's easiest to see over here, although David's still pending. Everybody see all these little yellow boxes? Nope, stay away. See all the little yellow boxes? We are not capturing images of you right now. That little yellow box is just so you know how to put your face in the viewfinder. So one of the most important things is to be compliant with all the different regulations that are out there. And that means if you have not opted into this, I should not be taking your photo and storing it in here. But at the point where you walk up, or if I walk up, and I'm right here, I have now made an attempt to enter. We now have the right to take my photo, right? You've made that attempt, you walk past all of the signage that's going to be there, and now I've shown you my photo. I'm going to scan one ticket, and then I go. Same with access control. So one of the things that Verizon worked with Wicket to do is to make sure we have a product that has the appropriate technology controls to make sure that your data is safe, to make sure that we're only interacting with the people that we're supposed to be interacting with. So we control the depth of the zone, right? So for certain applications, like entry into a stadium where we might want to keep things free flowing, we might look at a zone that's 4 to 6 feet deep. But if I'm opening the door to a secure facility, a DAS, a research facility, something with a lot of IP on the other side, we want to make sure that I've walked right up to it. And if it takes an extra second for me to get through it, so what? We want to make sure only the right person went through. We cut down on tailgating, we cut down on fraud, we protect IP, and we protect the employees.
Any questions for Jeff?
Fire away.
Are there plans to broaden facial authentication? I think customer needs, right? And network slicing is one of the ways we do that. So it's basically about allocating, assigning resources through the network to serve a customer need that they have, right? And that's what network slicing does. And what we're showing in the demo here is we have two Samsung S23 phones running a network slicing demo. And really what we're showing is a typical wireless network. You have, radio towers, 5G core, which is kind of like a brain, and like a video streaming service to a phone, right? And that's what we have on this phone here. It's just running over a normal 5G network. Now we're actually have a 5G network in a box running down here, and so we're adding a little bit of congestion to that network to kind of mimic a real world environment. And you can see that the quality is a little bit off on that one. But with 5G network slicing, what we're able to do is to take that one physical network. So think about your smartphone. You have one physical smartphone, but it has lots of different virtualized applications on top of it. Texting and surfing and watching video and email. Those are all virtualized things. The same way, we have a 5G physical network. Basically what you're doing is taking that physical network and using virtualization that kind of comes to us from the IT industry, and now having virtualized network built to serve a specific need for a customer, right? So end-to-end, assigning resources through the network to serve a need for the customer. So this could be, better performance, lower latency, different needs that customers might have. Now we're showing here with the two phones. One of the phones just has that default 5G network with a little bit of impairment. The other one has a network slice built in. Feel free to step forward if you want to see. The one on the left is the one that's with the slice. The quality of the video signal is a lot better because that network slice is controlling the quality all the way end to end through the network, assigning those resources. So what does this mean for us as we kind of move into this 5G era? For one, it means flexibility, right? So now we can think about new services that better assign network resources for driving what the customers need, right? So this is one of the beauties of 5G. Rather than just one type of service, we can have multiple different types of services. All those network slices are independent of each other. So we can now better tune the performance of that slice, whether it's a high bandwidth or low latency or whatever it needs. We can tune it better to what the customer needs. We can provide better security. This ties into some of the applications I'll talk about in a second. Each of those network slices running through the network, they're isolated from each other. So there's no interference between them, right? So now if you have like whether it's a banking application or you're running your factory on a slice, that slice now has, we're isolated from other slices that might be running on that same network. So again, this is the ability of a physical network now to be virtualized with multiple slices. opens up a lot of new possibilities for new services, and it also helps us reduce costs, right? So now we can turn up slices faster, we turn up new services faster. We don't have to go out and do things in the network physically, what we call a truck roll, send somebody out to a site to provision something. It's just all done in software, virtualized through the entire network end to end. Touch on real quick just a few of the applications. One of the big ones is just, stadiums here like SoFi, right? So they want to provide a better fan experience. You got 80,000 people out there in the bowl, all wanting to, be part of the game. They want to be able to tie into their social media, to send pictures to friends, to get the latest tweets, maybe have some type of multi-view application running where they can see the replay or the goal line stance or whatever. It's an opportunity for a customer to offer a slice to the fans for a better experience. Could be better, could be the operations of the stadium itself, right? So rather than all these point of sale machines all just kind of running on Wi-Fi and different networks around, you could have a slice that just manages the operations of the network, right? Public safety is a great application here. Think of a disaster, a fire, a natural disaster, a lot of resources all rushing into one place. It's going to over congest the 5G network, which may have been damaged in a hurricane or whatever. But if you're able to set up a network slice now for all those first responders to now be able to communicate with each other, with high quality, push to talk, push to video, different applications like that, you can provide better service, better resiliency for that recovery effort. Last one I'll mention is just this idea of manufacturing. So I've heard a lot about powered wireless networks. We built a lot of those for manufacturers where they have Wi-Fi networks today and they want to be able to connect their machines, their workers, their manufacturing systems, better resiliency and better security. Well, you can then think of it, once they have that baseline connectivity of 5G for all these devices, they're not going to have different slices running, right? They're going to have a slice that's just running the manufacturing execution system, what's kind of running the factory, running the machines, and that's going to be, lots of high bandwidth and high security. And they might have another slice dedicated to just, employee communications, email, and stuff like that. It doesn't need to have the same level of performance, right? They could have a vendor come in to repair a machine, and they want to use maybe an AR/VR headset to help repair the machine faster, and they need a high bandwidth connection. Well, they can offer them a slice that's different than those other slices, and it's isolated, so there's little or no chance of any kind of interference between different slices. So it's all about end-to-end building connections through the network to provide a better service for our customers, open up lots of new possibilities in many different verticals. Any questions on network?
From SoFi, I'll let you introduce yourself and what you do here.
Sure, my name is Jeanette. I'm a VP of Innovation and IT Revenue here at SoFi Stadium, Hollywood Park. It's a pleasure to be able to host you. So what we'd like to do first is bring you up to level 6. We've got a great viewpoint where you can see the entire campus. One of the things that we like to educate people on is it's not just SoFi Stadium. There's so much more here at Hollywood Park, the 298 acres that are being built out. It gives you a great overview of what we've got going on. Wonderful. All right. Go ahead this way. Continuing on, Lake Park is a great area for the community. We have a lot of community events, and that's going to continue to evolve over time. Eventually, there'll be a hotel built. Additional facilities will continue to go up. Basically, every parking lot that you see is designed to become a vertical complex. So it's really exciting just to see what we're going to be able to do over the course of time. And all of that, of course, has to be connected. So today we've got down infrastructure throughout the parking lots. And so that really provides us a lot of flexibility to be able to do great things. Or for some of the tenants that come in, for example, when Super Bowl comes, they activated not just this building, but the entire campus, right? And so as 5G continues to develop, it really gives them an opportunity to pull less cabling and to be able to just activate wherever they desire.
So we pretty much in every parking lot, even a tailgating or NFL, we want to make sure that we have 5G ubiquitous on this campus. So right when you come in, even on the outside streets, you have 5G all throughout the area. Coming in, you have 5G in the parking lot. Walking in, you have 5G. You're trying to go to ingress, egress, so we're going to give you your e-tickets. When you come in Cisco 5, it's 5G. So it's literally 5G no matter where you are. Same with, of course, you're probably going to be going to G2 Stadium, G2 Theater next door as well. So it's 5G no matter where, as well as the NFL building.
Of course, I forgot to mention YouTube Theater, 6,000 seat performing arts venue. It's the best sound. It's really intimate theater. A place to see a show, a book signing, and all sorts of talent comes through here.
Park, SoFi Stadium, the entire thing on the facility. I'm sure my counterpart, Jeanette, has done a great job as well you guys so far. What we really wanted to highlight in this segment of the tour is our data center. By no means a small space, it looks that way from the exterior, but it's quite a massive space, and it sits at the nucleus, the heart of the technology infrastructure on the entirety of the property. It controls multiple buildings that are tied to it. The beauty of the infrastructure is, as we've built this initial converged network, we've been able to streamline some of the infrastructure that's tied to it. One of the biggest things on a property this size is, as it grows, is finding the cleanest and most efficient ways to connect all the infrastructure. So how this data center sits and how it's housed within the entirety of the property, it allows us, as Hollywood Park continues to grow, it allows us to enable more connectivity across the breadth of the property. It's truly a marvel what has been built, and our goal and our job with Verizon is to continue to carry that narrative forward. And I think this and what you guys will see going forward will really speak to that in the breadth and scope. Thank you. More than happy to be here.
Any questions? No?
No? Enjoy the tour, guys.
Thank you, Travis.